Hello. 2006 started being depressed and anxious, and were that way majorly on and off for the next 2.5 years. One of the things that happened in 2006 was on another vacation, this time to Vegas. And I want to kind of lead up to this is, as I said in the last video, lust is one of my signature sins. Lust and sloth. And the 2000s for me was, when I got slowly and more into the porn more and more part of my life. I mean, it's always been part, but it just got worse and worse and worse. And I'm just thinking, I would spend like $50 a month on magazines, subscriptions. I would go to websites. I would read these disgusting mind control stories. And I'm just saying this because to show you how bad I was. And I believe that porn corrodes, porn erodes, porn damages the psyche, and it's so easy to just have a little fun, but really you're damning yourself to a life of loneliness. And I called phone sex. I didn't go to escorts or do anything like that, mainly because I didn't have the money. And but in Vegas, I get cards. You go up in front of hotels and people give you cards with escort numbers. Like prostitution, it's not legal. Well, in Vegas, but they do it anyway. And I remember watching Cat House on HBO and thinking, hey, cool. And I called, and it was just, the woman was just, there was a darkness in her soul. You could tell. And it was just ugly. And she started to dance a little bit, and I gave her the money back. And I gave her $20 and just said, please, I made a mistake. And it just, I tried to give up porn. I've tried several times. I'd collect and have a box of magazines, throw them all away. And then 3 months later, I'd have another box filled up. I would try to quit the websites. I would go to celebrity fake websites, which is not demeaning to the celebrities. I mean, it's their heads on naked bodies. I would, and it doesn't just corrupt your alone time, but it also corrupts the way you view the opposite sex. And it's very easy to have fantasy women that fulfill every sexual fantasy, and you don't have to go out, you don't have to interact, you don't have to have the give and take of a relationship. And I believe porn is one of the most corrosive and one of the most corruptive influences we have in society right now. And I couldn't have stopped it. And like I said, I still read stories, but mainly about marriage and in the marriage bed. But still a sin, but I'm not sinning against the girls who pose. And it's just, I thank God for that every day. And 2006 was also the year that I got a job at Boston Store. And I was still attending bar every other week, and getting into political debates, which I toward the end I stopped doing because it was just not worth it. But I love the clientele. I love the customer base. I mean, it didn't agree with them politically, but good salt of the earth people. And I gave up my dreams of travel, and I got the job. I applied for a job in retail in October of 06, and I got it. Mainly, I think, because of my experience at at being a bartender and customer service, and building up the repertoire with people. And but the thing is, my anxiety got worse, and my depression got worse, and I couldn't handle it. And so I had to quit after the first of the year. And then 07, I was like really depressed and anxious, and my brain was starting to play tricks on me. I wasn't being able to remember things as good as I did before. And my best friend Doc, God bless him, tried to cheer me up, took me to Hot Fuzz, treated me to Hot Fuzz, and bought me a hamburger, and I always remember that, and I always remember just like really just talking. And I mean he's a really good friend, and I mean I started to lose interest in gaming. I started to lose interest in interactive storytelling because it wasn't becoming fun anymore. But also that spring I went to Eastern Europe with my parents. I went to Prague and then to Poland, and Prague was beautiful. It was storybook, and we had an apartment looking the Charles Bridge with all the statues of the saints, and we were there over Easter. I didn't go to church. My dad did, but I didn't. I didn't have faith. I thought that God, I believe God existed, and I do believe Jesus, I believe in Jesus, but I believe that the church was just totally corrupt. And so I didn't go to church, but I did pray. They had all these statuary, and there's a statue of St. John the Putnik, who was martyred off the bridge. And legend has it, if you rub the statuary and say a prayer, your prayer will be answered. And my prayer was to have my faith back the way it used to be. To get my faith back, a genuine faith back. And I don't believe that you need saints to intercede on your behalf. I believe you can pray to God directly. But I believe God heard that prayer. And I got my faith back the next year in spades. Then we went on to Poland, which Poland was beautiful. Going to Krakow and seeing Auschwitz was, I mean, you could feel the pain and the anguish, and just, then going up to Suwałki, where my great-grandmother lived, and was born, and finding her grave, and eating at the Hotel Domnulescu. And there was this a front desk girl who was probably 18, 19, who was holding her stomach, and I was kind of worried she maybe had a stomach flu or something like that. I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "No, I haven't eaten today." And just think think about, that's a wake up of poverty. I mean, there are people who don't have money for food. And one time I'm thinking about, I want to do some missionary work up there. Also, in 2007, I swallowed my pride and asked for my job back at Boston Store. And I worked in Home Store, and I applied, and I got my job back, and I've been working at Boston Store ever since. And I like it. It's a very good place to work. It's very customer service oriented, and I couldn't ask for a better place to work in my life right now. So that's 2006, 2007. I will do 2008 tomorrow. God bless.